Oh my God, I got so much air. Get! This is solid ice. Holy cow. Guy brought his Teletubbies. There are many people out there that are just looking for an excellent fitness bike to give them power whenever they need it. They don't need all of those bells and whistles. Well, this is the Aventon Soltera 3. This is the adventure model. It's only 37 pounds and it has a carbon belt drive. So you know what? I'm going to show you everything you need to know about this bike. So let's get into it. When you get your Soltera 3, it's going to come to you as a Class 1 e-bike, which means you can reach up to 20 miles an hour via your double-sided torque sensor down below and your 3 levels of pedal assist. This bike only weighs 37 pounds, but has a maximum payload capacity of 300 pounds. And during the making of this video, you can purchase the Soltera 3 for only $14.99, and it comes with a 2-year warranty. This Soltera 3 adventure model comes in 4 different sizes, which you can handle riders from 5'1" all the way up to 6'4". And this bike comes in 3 different colors. I have the matte storm blue here, but it also comes in matte black and sterling silver. Aventon says that the Soltera 3 can go up to 70 miles on a single battery charge. The Soltera 3 comes with a 36-volt, 250-watt nutted hub drive motor. It has a peak power of 500 watts and 40 Newton meters of torque. It has a single-speed drivetrain with a 22-tooth flywheel, a Gates carbon belt drive, and a 60-tooth chainring. For stopping power, it has the Tektro 2-piston hydraulic brake system and 180mm rotors. The wheels are double-walled aluminum alloy, and it comes with a Novatec through axle. The tires are by Kenda. They are 700 by 38C. They have this minimalistic street pattern on them, and they're puncture resistant. When it comes to the battery, it is in this down tube right here, and it is a 36-volt, 9.94 amp hours with 366.8 watt hours of power. You cannot remove this battery from the bike. You can if something goes wrong with the battery, but you can't just pop it out real quick. But if you want to charge it, you can charge it with this charging port right over here, and it comes with a 4 amp charger, which means this bike will charge up incredibly quick in only 2.5 hours time. I do want to show you where the battery would be removed in case you ever have any issues with it. You have these 4 screws right here, all that comes undone, and then you can pull the battery out to replace it. The Soltera 3 has a UL2271 and UL2849 certification. It is IPX6 rated, which means it is protected against high pressure water streams from any angle. Additional features include plastic pedals, a single side chainring guard, a standard seat post clamp, a very small but long seat with a comfort groove, multiple mounting points, a mounting point on the front fork, an integrated headlight, and tail lights with turn signals. I can see back here where it looks like there are mounting points for a rear fender and possibly a rear rack. Let's talk about size and fit. Now, this bike is a medium. Remember, it comes in 4 different sizes. I got a medium, and the bike itself is 69 inches long. Now, there's no adjustment that you can put up here because of the way the bars are and the stem, but I did lower the seat all the way down, and then when you have it that low, that means the seat is 31 inches from the ground. Now, if we put it for a taller rider, which it does have numbers here on the back, that's it right there. And that is 36 inches. So that's what it would be for your tallest rider on a size medium. For me, let me go ahead and set it up. It doesn't have a quick release, so give me a second. I think this is the right size for me. I am 5'9", 225 pounds. I have a 32-inch inseam, and this is what I should look like riding this bike today. Cockpit Operations. On your left-hand side, you have a single locking grip right here. This rubber does feel pretty good. I kind of like this pattern. This is your front brake lever, and this is your control pad. To turn on the bike, you're just going to hold the power button down until the display lights up. Your display is nice and full color. I am a big fan of this display. Now, it does give you the time, your percentage of battery power, and the battery. This will show you how much level is going out as you're riding. This will tell you your speed and what pedal assist level you are in. If you want to go up in pedal assist levels, you're just going to hit the plus button, and it takes you all the way into turbo, and then you go down to sport, eco, and then it's off. If you want to turn on your headlight, you're going to hold the headlight button here, the plus button, until your headlight comes on. You have a little indicator right there. The screen dims a little bit, And then if you want to turn it off, you can hold that button again. Turn your left turn signal on, just push this left arrow here. It does give you an indicator showing you that your left turn signal is on. To turn it off, you just hit that button again. Same way here for your right turn signal. If you want to learn more about your trip, you're just going to hit the power button real quick. It shows that we've gone 7.9 miles. Also gives the amount of time, our trip average speed, our max speed, the overall odometer, then total average speed, and this will tell us our range depending on what pedal assist level we're in. Right now I just put it into Eco, that's 29, 15 for Sport, and 11 for Turbo. Now we only have 7% battery power right here, so no worries. We will charge this thing up before I take off on it today. Hit the button again, and it takes you right back to the main display. To turn the bike off, you're just going to hold the power button again until the display shuts down. On the right-hand side, you have your rear brake lever right here. The headlight has one single bulb in it, and it is pretty bright. When you turn on your headlight, it activates your tail lights. Now, if I hit the brakes, if you notice, it's not doing anything because it does not provide you with a motor cutout, so it gives you no brake lights. But it does have turn signals, as you can see here on the left and on the right. And then whenever you turn the headlight off, you can still see that you have your right and left turn signals. Right here is what the headlight looks at night. As you can see, it's pretty bright for it to be a smaller light. And then this is how bright your taillights are. Let's go over advanced settings. Now to access that, you're going to hit the plus and minus button at the same time. It's going to take you into the menu. Here, we're going to clear our trip. There we go. Then from here, we can go down to display unit. This is where it bounces between kilometers and miles per hour. Screen brightness. I like it nice and bright. Auto power off. This is how long you want the bike on before it turns off automatically. This gives you your system info. Right here, you can set the date and time, and you can connect to the app, which we will go over in just a second. Hit it one more time, and it takes you back to the main display. This is what you're going to get out of the app. Right here, it's showing that we have 70% battery power. It's off. If I want to hit the Eco Plus Sport, it shows you all of that right there. You can turn the headlight on with this button. You can turn it off. Then you can go into settings. And right here, you can adjust the things that you can adjust in the display. And as you can see, the max speed limit is 20 miles an hour. Back out of that. There's where you update the firmware and information about your bike. It is very simple and it is very minimalistic. But if you want to track your ride, well, you can use that button down there to do it. And then you hit your start button, and it tracks your ride. You also have another button down here which shows you the rides that you've ridden. You have a discover page over here, which is like a social media thing, and then information about your account. That is basically all there is for the Aventon app. The road test has begun. We're out here on the 606 trail here in Chicago. We've had a heat wave. It is 41 degrees, so it is going to be a super nice day to go for a ride. I'm cruising in zero pedal assist. This bike is so easy to ride as just like an analog bike. It makes it extremely nice. Like right now, we're going up a hill. I don't have any pedal assist on. It's totally fine. We're cruising about 13, 14 miles an hour. Now, there's no throttle on this bike, which is no big deal. It's light enough to not need it. Let's go ahead and put it into eco mode and see what I feel. All right, so you feel some assistance, not a ton, which is good because you have those three modes. You have eco, sport, and turbo. Eco mode, it feels like you have a toddler pushing you along. Or basically, it takes the weight, and what little weight there is of the bike, it takes it away. Now, we're just cruising at the same speed that we were. We're about 13 miles an hour right now. But this is a double-sided torque sensor, which means it should work like almost immediately. Well, actually, immediately. So let's see. If I put more pressure on the cranks, oh yeah, we're shooting up in speed. And we've already hit that 20 miles an hour in eco mode. There is something about riding a bike that doesn't have all these gears or shifters or any of that. It's just you and the bike with some quality parts on it. Also, I've noticed this bike is silent. From the tires to the motor to that Gates carbon belt drive, like you don't hear anything. I know I have earmuffs on, but normally I can hear a motor or the bike over these, and I hear nothing. Normally we would do some sort of speed test, but this is a single speed. And really, the bike is gonna go as fast up to that 20 miles an hour as strong as your legs are. So I might be able to do it quicker than you can, or I might be able to do it slower than you can. You know what? We'll do it just so you guys can see if you can beat it. The weather feels great. Took off my gloves. We'll see how long that lasts, but let's check out the speedometer. Right now, the GPS shows I'm doing 14 miles an hour, and so does the display. So that is a very good thing, which means that whenever we're rocking our top speed of 20 miles an hour, that it is correct. All right. It is time to do the speed test. I have put the bike into turbo mode. We're gonna see how long it takes for me to hit 20 miles an hour. Remember, single drive, no gears. It's basically gonna be leg work and the motor to see how fast. If you have one of these, see if you can beat me. Here we go. Let's go. We're already 15, 16, 19, 20 right there. Oh, wait a minute, 21, 22, 23. Let's go for top speed. 24, 25. Oh, 25. Looks like it's going to be the top speed, but man, this thing was flying. Now we're going to try it again in eco mode. Probably should have did that mode first. But either way, here we go. 3, 2, 1, let's go. Cranking it. Oh, you can tell the difference for sure. Let's go. Get this thing going. And boom, already hit 20. With this big chain ring, you can comfortably keep it at 20 miles an hour. Let's go ahead and do the brake test. This bike can only do 20 miles an hour, so that's what we're gonna test it at. Oh man, that felt good. Yee-hoo. Look at that, right at 20 feet. The brakes felt great. You know, we do get a lot of traction from the tires, even though they are very thin. But yeah, 20 feet. You know what? Let's try it again. Round 2, same speed. I just want to see if it's going to match up with the 20 feet from before. Wow. Actually, we're at 18 and a half feet. These brakes work really well. Everything felt in control. These are quality brakes. I have the bike in sport mode, which is the middle of the three. Normally when I do my reviews, that's where I like to keep it. In not the top pedal assist level, not the bottom, right there in the middle. And this right here feels pretty good. I'm putting very little effort in to cruise at 13 miles an hour. I already know who this bike is for. It's for those people that want a crazy lightweight bike. They don't want all of the mess that comes with, you know, derailleur guards and derailleurs and shifters. They want something that just totally basic, just you and the bike, and this is it. This is one of those type of bikes. Because the battery is in the frame and it doesn't come out. Now there's some bolts there at the bottom, so if your battery does get messed up, it will come out and you can replace it. But it's not something where you just like, you're at home and you just pull the battery out so you can charge it indoors. Nope, you have to carry the bike indoors, and at this extremely lightweight, it's so easy. Well, that is if you're in a cold area. You can easily keep the bike outside and charge it, but here in the winter, when it drops below freezing, well, I just pick up the bike, take it inside to charge it. With my gloves off, I can tell you, I like how the grips feel. They kind of move, right? They have these little grooves in them, and you feel them. They kind of massage your hands as you move them around. I checked the tire PSI. It starts at 50. The max is 75 pounds. Right now, I have them at 65 because I want a little bit of cushion, but I also want to get the mileage out of them. So we'll see how that performs today. With me being 5'9", with a 32-inch inseam, this is a size medium. I should have went with the large, right? So just so you know, if you're 5'9", 32-inch inseam, and you can't figure out if you want a medium or a large, well, I should have gotten the large. Not that this bike is too small, but for like my arm reach and all that kind of stuff, I just feel like a large would fit me better. The display on the Soltera, it's one that I'm used to from Aventon. The sun is blaring right now, and I can easily see everything I need to see. The seat, even though it is like thin, kind of small and harder, feels totally fine for a bike like this. Now we'll see how I feel at the end of the review. It is time to do some off-roading. Look, this bike, there's no suspension on this bike at all. So you are gonna feel every single bump, which we do right now. Holy cow. Now you can make it a little bit easier on yourself by taking some air out of the tires. But that's not what we're doing. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I'm glad this bike is lighter. But to be honest, going through here, oh, let's turn it up. Let's put it into turbo and make it easier, because I was like, oh, I'd like to downshift. Oh no, turbo just made it so much easier. But holy cow, it is rough. And we're gonna ride it to the end, because that's what we do here. My hands are vibrating. Everything is vibrating. Okay, there we go. Whoo! Yowza, man. All right, can the bike go off-road? Well, yeah. Should it? No. I mean, can you cut across the park like I did? Well, of course you can. Are you gonna feel it? Of course you will. Guys, check out this paint job right here. This matte blue is awesome. And then with the Aventon bikes, you never see the welds, which just shows you how much high quality all of this is. Holy cow. This thing is like a satin blue. It is nice. It is time for the hill climb. We are going to do it in 3 different speeds, because this is where your pedal assist levels are going to come in. We're going to start off on eco mode, and let's go and see how easy that is, or to see if my legs are strong enough to even make it. Yeah, I'm already standing up to get this to happen. This is the hill of pain. It's a 20 degree hill. Oh, we about wiped out. And getting up it in eco mode from a dead stop is not gonna happen. Yeah, it's not gonna happen. Okay, let's try it in another mode. We almost made it though. About 2/3 the way. Now we're gonna try it in sport mode. Eco didn't work out so well. Let's see how easy, or see if we can make it up the hill. See, I noticed a much bigger difference now. This is so much better. Oh, we can make it up for sure. I'm standing up, getting it done, but it is possible. Nice. Now we have it in turbo. This should be very nice. Let's go. Yeah, with turbo, I can actually keep seated and make it up the hill. Yeah, here we go. Not a problem at all. We are getting it done. We're getting it done. Yeah, big differences. And that's where you're gonna see them. You're gonna see the big differences whenever you're climbing a hill. That's where you're gonna need your pedal assist levels the most. So the areas where I feel like you need the different pedal assist levels is if you're fighting into the wind, which that will probably most definitely happen today. It always does. Sand test, we'll put it in turbo for that. And when you're climbing hills. Right now, I'm looking at the display and it shows that we can do 21.4 miles of range in sport mode. And I know you're thinking, well, wait, you said this bike could do 70 miles on a single battery charge, because that's what Aventon said. A lot of things come into play for that. You have rider weight, you have terrain, wind, tire pressure, pedal assist levels. The range changes as you ride the bike because it's going off of how you're riding it. Now, if you're wondering, is this bike stable enough to ride without hands? It is. And I'm doing that with a camera coming off the front that's not even straight ahead. So yeah, I don't like doing this, but if you do, this bike will do it. Now, to give you an example of what I mean, when we looked earlier and it showed that sport would take us 21.9 miles, the bike is reading how I am riding right now, and it jumped up to my range being 29 miles. I really like it when it can tell you how far you need to go, because that's what these range tests are all about, to see how far a bike can go on of a battery. But when it has a thing that tells you what your range is, well, that makes it so much better. And so because of that, well, we're going to go out and enjoy the day, but I'm not really worried about exhausting the battery on this bike. I have reviewed a couple other bikes with these Gates carbon belt drives. They are so nice, so smooth, so quiet. One thing I totally forgot to add to this bike was a bell. I mean, it's so quiet, but we'll just tell people that I'm on their left, and hopefully that'll do it. But I personally prefer a bell. I think all bikes should have them. Now, I normally keep a bike that I ride to the movies in, and it fits into like a normal bike rack. And when it comes to these small light ones like this, it allows you to hook it up through the tire and the frame because you don't have those huge tires that you're worried about. This is one of those bikes that I could totally see me taking to the movie theater, hooking it up to anything, not being worried about it at all. If you are familiar with the Aventon control unit, the ACU, well, this doesn't have that on it. So you don't have all that GPS tracking or the rear hub lock or any of that kind of stuff. It would just add weight to this bike. And they wanted to make sure this bike was super simple, super sleek, and super light. And to do that, well, you got to give up some features. All right, we're going to take off from this light here in sport mode and see how that feels. Yeah, I like how this torque sensor just kicks right on in. No issues at all. Happens immediately. As I was riding, my seat kept dropping. So Aventon gives you one of these with the bike so you can help put it together, but this is a great thing to take along with you. I was able to raise my seat back up, tighten that clamp so it doesn't keep moving down on me. It's always good to take a tool with you whenever you're out biking. You never know when you're going to need it. Let's use our turn signal. Forgot to put a mirror on here. Hand signal as well. There we go. When they first came out with turn signals, I thought it was like a gimmick. But I am surprised on how much I use them when they're on bikes. You know, they might say that they're hard to see, but it's just an additional layer of safety. And I end up really liking turn signals. Let's jump. Just jumped off that curb. Oh my God, I got so much air. But I do feel like if you did buy this bike, you wouldn't have to make any changes to it. Add a bell, maybe a mirror, that would be it. I don't feel like you need to upgrade the brakes. I mean, the bike is what it is. It is a very subtle, sleek commuter for those fitness enthusiasts. One of the things that I've noticed is how wide these handlebars are, which really gives you a lot more control. I don't know, it was thought out correctly. I have been crossing these lights in sport. Let me put it into turbo and see how easier it's going to be when I take off from a dead stop. Here we go. Oh, yeah. Much nicer for the takeoff, but I don't think it's enough to where I'm going to want to like put it into turbo and take off and then put it back down into sport. All right, geese. Move out the way there. Move out the way. Come on. Get. If you are looking for a bike that you don't have to put any effort into it to tool around, this is not it. But if you are looking for a bike to where you're just going to get a workout out of it, well, yeah, this one is a good choice. I know this bike has a walk feature, so let's see if it works in any pedal assist level. Now, to activate it, you're going to hold down the minus button, and then, yeah, and we are walking. Because this bike is so light, we are moving at 2.5 miles an hour, making it incredibly easy to make it up and over. I know we just tested out the walk feature, but really, you don't even need it with this bike. You can just pick it up and take it right up the stairs. No problem at all. All right, now to make it over the Illinois incline, we're going to put it into turbo because I'm already going uphill. Yeah, there we go. And that totally saved me while going up this hill. See, that's where those different pedal assist levels come in handy. The last time I reviewed the Soltera 2, it was negative 12 degrees. So today, today's weather is awesome. It is time for the sand test, but my GoPro wasn't turned on, so I'm going to give you a voiceover of what happens. I gave it a running start because the bike has no throttle and no lower gears. I have it in pedal assist turbo. I got into the sand and made it about 20 to 30 feet. The bike just sinks into the sand, and the sand is above the rim. The size of the tires makes the bike just sink. At this point, I'm not able to go any farther. Luckily, the bike is light enough that you can just pick it up and walk out of the sand back to pavement. The Soltera 3 will get you to the beach, but it will not get you through the beach. Even though it's in the 40s, we still have ice over here from where the lake splashes up onto the concrete beach. That's Lake Michigan. And if you've never seen my reviews before, well, that is the Chicago skyline. One of my favorite things to show people when I'm doing my reviews. And as you can see, there are quite a few people out here on a Monday. Ooh, all this is ice. Yikes. Oh my gosh. I am literally afraid to be on this right now with this bike. I mean, seeing you guys walk it doesn't make me feel real confident about this.
It's just a short walk of ice, but
Then once you get around the corner?
yeah, with your shoes on, you should be fine. Yeah, you should be fine.
Oh yeah, this is Wipeout City right here. Wow, this is solid ice. Holy cow. And it's not getting any better. Holy cow. She's running on this. Oh shit. I am sliding. Oh, cool. Guy brought his Teletubbies. I am coming up to the bridge where I really test out the suspension on these bikes. But this bike has no suspension at all. So we're just going to lift up a little bit. There we go. And take the hits. Forgot to do it on that one. Although, wasn't that bad. I feel like we've done all of the big testing. So we'll just start heading back. Go ahead and put it back into sport mode. Okay, because the screen is small and you're wearing gloves, you're going to hit all kinds of buttons. The process of trying to look at the trip details and stuff. When I turned around, I was like, oh, I got my turn signal on. I do not want to deal with that ice again, so we're just going to go through the city, take the bike routes. If I rode a bike like this around all the time, man, my cardio would be so much better. As you guys can see, we have some really nice bike infrastructure here in Chicago, and it gets improved every year. So let's talk about why there are no motor cutoffs on this bike. And here is the reason. Number one, it's light, and you don't have a throttle. So what they did is they made it to where whenever you apply the brakes, you still have motor power. So in case you're needing to like make it up a hill and you need to apply the brakes a little bit, you don't have to start from zero because there's no throttle. I think it's pretty smart, especially for a bike like this. Now, you do lose the brake light ability, but yeah, it just makes sense to me that when you have a bike this light and it doesn't have a throttle, that you don't have a motor cutoff. You definitely cannot be lazy on this bike because you have to work for it. And I am 100% okay with that. I'm having a really good workout today. Let's talk about the maneuverability of this bike. It is very nimble. Of course it would be with these thin tires and the lightweight. I think these tires do a really good job here on the pavement and here out on the streets. All right, we are heading back up onto the 606. I have it in turbo mode. This is probably a 10 to 12% grade, and it goes a pretty good distance. We're making it up no problem. Now that we are back on the 606, we have about 3 miles to make it to the house. No big deal. I mean, this bike has just performed as I thought it would. Yeah, we definitely need fenders. While I have the headlight on, let me show you guys what that looks like in the daytime. I mean, it does help cars see you whenever they look over. And then let's show you the back here. Right here's the turn signals. Here's your left. There's your right. And then it doesn't matter if I hit the brakes, like I'm hitting the brakes right now, and there are no brake lights. But you guys can see how bright the tail lights are. Let me show you what it looks like when you are riding this bike from the side. You are leaning a little bit into it. You know, kind of aggressive, also very comfortable. Like you don't have to lean over too far like you have with some bikes. This one, you're still basically sitting straight up and down, except you just have that forward lean. I am about home, so let's go ahead and give you final thoughts. It is time for final thoughts. Now, when I take a look at the display shows that we went 22.3 miles with 44% battery power left, and that just tells you that this bike can go a long way. Now, when we take a look to Strava shows that we went just a little bit over 21 miles, which means that overall it's about 1 mile difference. So it's up to you if you're going to want to use a third-party app or not. Now, let's take a look at how much farther we could go. If we take a look at the range, it shows that in turbo, we could still go another 10 miles. In sport, we could go 13.5, and in eco, another 25.5 miles. I think overall that is pretty good. Oh, we also had a top speed of 25.8 miles an hour. Now, if we look at the overall performance of the bike, I mean, you only have 40 Newton meters of torque. This is not a monster hill climber, okay? So it is what I consider a very, very nice fitness bike for those people who want to be able to ride a bike without any power and then just kick it on whenever they feel they need it. When it came to the hill climb, it did struggle. We weren't able to make it up in eco mode. I mean, maybe if I had stronger legs, we possibly could. We were able to do it standing up in sport, and I was very easily able to go up it in turbo. Now, when it came to the sand test, well, we made it about 20 feet. Holy cow, that sand was deep, and we just sunk big time into it, which is totally what I expected from this bike because, I mean, think about it. It has very thin tires, and it's just going to sink in the sand instead of moving across it. Some people might not like the fact that the battery is integrated into the frame and you can't remove it to charge it, which means in cold weather like this, I can't leave it out in my unheated garage, but it is very easy to carry and take it inside the house. Some people also might not like the fact that it doesn't have a throttle, but this is a fitness bike. Aventon has bikes with throttles on it. I think this one is very, very nice for what it does. This Gates carbon belt drive, holy cow, those are so nice, so smooth, and so quiet. This seat, not bad at all. I wasn't sure how it was going to be, but for this bike, it seems to suit very well. The pedals, they are wider than the average plastic pedals, and my feet did not slip on them, but I think for me, I would probably switch them to aluminum. Now, with that said, if you are interested in the Aventon Soltera 3, I'm going to leave a link down in the description below. That'll take you right where you need to be, and that way you can learn more about this bike. I'll also leave a QR code there in case you're watching it from your TV and just zap it with your phone. That'll also get you where you need to be. If you are not interested in the Soltera 3, but you want to see some more powerful bikes, well, YouTube knows what you like to watch. It's going to throw it up right there. And if you did enjoy this video, well, maybe you can give it a like or maybe subscribe or something like that. But either way, I want to thank you guys for watching today. And until I see you again, enjoy the ride.